Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drop In, Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of 7 gamers come together for an open and engaging conversation all about video games. I'm very excited today to talk about the future with all of you, not just of video games, but of all of our lives. And whose lives, you might ask? Well, first and foremost, we've got the return of the Dumpster Boy. Welcome back, my guy.
You know, it's interesting. The last show I recorded was Easter, so some might say he
is risen indeed.
And then here comes that fat little chubby boy, the Rizzler. He just jumps out from behind me, shaking his gut. Yep. Oh man, yeah, he has risen.
Whoa. He has indeed. We are also, this is kind of the return for P-Swag. It feels like it's been a bit.
Yeah. Do you want me to put the Daisy dress on? It's right here.
You don't have to, but exclamation point tree in the chat, please. Whoa. Because our guy is going through it. P-Swag, have you talked about this publicly on the podcast before?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've mentioned it on here a little bit. We've mentioned it on Clickerbait a little bit. Okay. You probably mentioned it on Spotlight Games. I wouldn't listen to a podcast I'm not on. Right. But yeah, tree, totaled, displaced. That's my word cloud right now.
That's pretty amazing.
But we're fucking back.
We're back, baby.
We are
almost all of
back.
Us.
Exactly. I also have Cognitive Clips here. How are you today?
I'm good. I discovered not only an unlocked door to the ante room that I couldn't get to on Blueprints today, but also something called a cortado. Have you ever tried this?
No, it's a coffee drink.
Yes. So apparently what this is, like when you get like a latte or whatever, it's like, you got the shots at the bottom and like a whole crap load of like steamed hot whatever milk that you want to pick. Cortado is like equal parts of each instead of like a whole lot of milk. It's like equal milk and espresso shots. Very smooth. Almost as smooth as Jake's head. Kayla, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm doing great. We got lots of hype train going in the chat. We got first time chatters. Jula, hello, welcome. Heroic Hager thought you said horchata, which is also a banger drink.
So good.
Delicious drink.
I am doing
cortado, like CORTADO, I think.
Could use a coffee though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm here.
And then we also have Jerica here tonight.
Yes, I'm here. I'm ready to talk about games and predictions. It's my favorite thing to do. I finished Expedition 33. Can't wait to talk about that at some point in the future. And 2 weeks from now, we'll be playing on our Switch 2s, which is great. Gosh, it's a great time to be a gamer.
Yes.
So good.
It is. It is a complicated time to be a gamer if you're part of the drop-in, drop-out community or the cast, because let me tell you, we got some things coming up. We have a big, nasty graphic that's going to pop up on screen right now. What you need to know... What you need to know is that basically keep your eyes peeled from June 1st to June 12th because it's Gamer Christmas, it's Key 3, it's Summer Game Fest, and we're talking all about this tonight because we're the best podcast in the world and we're doing it early. So when people search Summer Game Fest predictions to steal people's ideas, you'll know that they stole our ideas as opposed to us stealing their ideas like we usually do for podcast stuff. So starting on June 1st is the Halo Jamboree. Everybody that is listening or watching, please join us live on June 1st that evening, sometime around 8 p.m., maybe even a little bit earlier. We're going to be playing Halo the Master Chief Collection. That week, of course, leads to some pretty crazy things. The Switch 2 launch on the 5th. We have Summer Game Fest on the 6th kicking off. We have shows all over that weekend. We have our regularly programmed Clickerbait and Spotlight Games. We have a Mario Kart 8 stream the night before the Switch 2 comes out. It's a big, nasty graphic. What you need to know is that from the 1st through the 12th, we have a lot coming your way. But tonight, we are setting the pace for all of that nice and early on May 22nd. What I want to do right now is pulse my sweet, sweet cast. I mean, I always want to pulse my cast, but tonight I want to pulse you on what you think we are going to be getting here at Summer Game Fest 2025. And we're going to affectionately refer to this episode as our first ever whiteboard show, because each and every one of us has a brand new whiteboard that we're going to be writing answers on tonight. So what I want to do is get a hype check from each one of you. And we're going to do that by writing how hype you are for this upcoming June 1st through 12th. That'll get us to our second Drop In Drop Out podcast officially, where we recap everything that happens in between there. 1, you're not excited at all. 10, you're the most excited you could ever be. Let's get those numbers written right now.
We're doing portrait or landscape?
I'm a landscape guy.
Landscape?
Are we revealing
okay.
at the same time, or should I go ahead and reveal?
Everybody is going to flip at the same time, and I'm going to read everything out all at once.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready to flip?
Oh, yeah.
We're looking ready. Let's flip them right now. I gave an 8. P-Swag gave an 8. Bottom left, whose face I can't see, gave a 14. Cog. Taman gave a Charlie Sheen on a Saturday night. Kayla gave an 11, and Jerica gave a 7. Very,
smiley face.
Very good stuff. Generally pretty high. I love to see it. Now listen, we're going to use this to answer a series of questions throughout the evening. But chat, my wonderful chat that is here live with us, I'm going to need some help from you as well. In fact, some of you have already helped without knowing it. What I need tonight is I need a scribe, somebody to take some notes. Who feels like they can write down very quickly what each one of our unbelievable 6 drop-in, drop-out members that are present here say for answers? Most of them are going to be yes or no. The other ones will be single-digit numbers. Who is feeling it? Who is feeling it?
I mean, Noah can write like fucking nobody's business.
How do you
This
know?
motherfucker writes.
Because of
This guy
what?
writes.
How does he write? I want to see how he writes.
You wouldn't believe it.
Okay.
Oh,
He's got,
brother.
he's got a
Jake-
whole emote that he uses on my channel for write that down. What are you going to say,
Like the
Patrick?
first time I saw it, I was like,
Wow.
wow.
Jake just
Okay.
makes him write things down against his will as often as he possibly can.
Scribe
Correct.
for life.
Let's rattle off some of our familiar faces here. I see Coal Mines. I see Dan Goodshow subscribing. I see High Score Weekly, who I found out earlier today is our most active chatter on Drop In Drop Out. Shout out to High Score Weekly. We have Mr. The Human Plays. We have Noah _C92. We have Basic Fun. We have Cirrus Shard. We have so many friends. Heroic Headgear is already in here. You'll love to see it. Jula, anybody that I'm missing, I'm so sorry. I'm a very dumb man. However, I think, go ahead.
I was going to
Heard
say, I'm wondering if it's pronounced Eula because he's from Finland. Keep us honest.
Oh, probably. Let's figure that out. So here's the format that we're going to be running with. And I don't want to get too into the weeds on this because this is where the rules are made up and the points don't matter, right? I don't want to sit here for 7 minutes and tell you guys exactly how all this shit is going to work. Just
We
answer
also
my
made
fucking
that up, by the
questions.
way.
I have correct. We didn't steal that from anyone. Whiteboard gang, Ren Marie, you understand. So basically answer my 21 questions that I have prepared for you today. The vast majority are yes or no questions about this window of time in particular. That's the thing that I want to focus on because Summer Game Fest in earnest kicks off on Friday the 6th, but that's just Keely's umbrella. He has things like the Future Game Show and the Wholesome Direct and the blah, 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 all these different things where things might pop up at. On the 8th is an Xbox showcase, but we don't have a date, time, or confirmation that we're even going to get a Nintendo Direct or PlayStation State of Play. More on that in a little bit. But what I'm asking you for the vast majority of these things, and I will specify as we get there, for the back half of questions is, will these things happen during a point in this duration of time between the 1st and the 12th? If it happens on the 13th, you're fucked. All right.
Oh,
Makes sense?
You're out of the podcast.
My sweet cast.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm, mhm.
Very, very good. The last thing is, oh, go ahead, Kayla.
Noah has agreed to scribe for us. Thank you.
Oh, what a legend. W Noah, common Noah W. The last thing that I do want to talk about is the back half of this episode is just straight up predictions. We've each brought predictions to the table, some of them that are realistic, some of them that are perhaps a little bit more outlandish. And we've also solicited plenty of them from our community. You still have some time right now if you are listening to this live from the Twitch chat. If you would like to make some predictions, go to the thread in the Drop In Drop Out Pod Discord. If you're listening to this or watching this in the future, why don't you find that Discord, join it, and be a part of it next time? What a segue. Now, we will be making a bingo card, right? Out of a combination of our predictions, both outlandish and realistic, as well as some from chat as well. And as we watch and react to all of these things, we will mark down how successful we are as a community. I think it's going to be a really good way to wrap a bunch of weird shows together. So without further ado, now that I've been rambling for God knows how long, let's get into some fun questions.
10 minutes and
First, let's get a pulse. Who's the most excited? No, I'm just kidding. My first question to you all is will there be a Nintendo Direct? And the way that I want to do this is I want to ask you guys, I need snap decisions. I don't want to be here waiting all day for people to write their answers. The vast majority are yes or no. Just smack a Y or an N type or write yes or no on your board. And then don't flip it.
Oh,
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you guys around the horn. All right, get ready for the way that this is going to go, right? I need everybody to be sharp and top of mind. I flip mine. Everyone's done writing. Now it's my turn to flip mine. I flip it and I say yes. And then Patrick.
yes.
Cog. Yes. Cayman.
No, absolutely not.
No. Kayla.
No.
No. Jerica.
Yes.
Yes. I want to hear from the no's. Why don't you think there's going to be a Nintendo Direct? Cog or Cayman? Or Kayla?
Oh, it was Kayla and Cayman. I feel like we've got a lot of Nintendo content lately. I don't think in this time frame we'll go to Direct. I think it'll be a little bit later in the summer. Maybe even the fall. We'll get another one.
I'm right there with Kayla.
It's a lot of
I'm
content.
with Kayla on that one. There's been too many directs, and right off the heels of the Switch 2 coming out, like you've done all these things already. Just let it breathe and then jump in like August or something with like another big announcement. But no, not this close. Not worth it.
Fair. Jerica, why do you think yes?
I don't know. It just seems weird for them not to be here and they're launching a new console. Like, why would they have nothing to show? Like, at least, and it doesn't have to be like a whole hour-long segment. Like, I think just a little update of like games to look forward to and maybe looking at third-party games that will be because we haven't got a like release dates for every single thing announced yet, have we? And there's a few things that we're still missing dates on. So like updates on that and like more third-party games, like an update.
Mm-hmm. I think that is very much in line with my thinking. I'm not going to ask every single person for opinions every single time we go around. I'll try to keep it as even as possible. And if you're passionate about it and I start moving to the next thing, feel free to give me a, hey, let me hop in here. My next question for you all, let's erase our previous answers. Get ready in chat. Keep up as well. I would love to see your answers in the chat. I'm reading them out here on the side. Will there be a PlayStation State of Play during this time frame, June 1st through 12th? Let's write those answers down. Yes or no?
Specifically
Yes
June 1st through the 12th?
1st through the 12th. If it happens after the 12th, it does not count. All right. I am going to flip. I think yes. Patrick.
I think no.
Bog.
I think no.
Eamon. Yes. All right. Kayla.
Yes.
And Jerica. No. All right. A lot of people in chat. A lot of people in chat saying no as well. I heard Jeff Grubb was tweeting earlier. Does anybody think yes, but it will happen after the 12th? Let me ask that question.
I don't think it's going to happen till later this year.
I think it happens before the 1st.
Oh,
wow! You think really soon?
Yeah,
like next 10 days.
Early.
The reason, the reason I asked the question during when you were teeing it up was because I Googled 2024 State of Play dates, and there was one on May 30th. And because I didn't prepare for this show at all, I was like, let's just do that again this year, May 30th for our State of Play.
I like that. That's good reasoning. Very good. All right, that gets us on the board. Will Sonic the Hedgehog reveal himself? That question is, okay.
Like show his cock?
Not will he pull out his penis.
Whoa.
Question is, will he be on the screen featured in one of these conferences?
Interesting.
I'm ready. I'm going to flip. My answer is yes.
My
P-Swag,
answer is yes.
Cognitive Clips.
Yarp. He gonna drive his car.
Ooh, Cayman.
Ah.
Are you Sonic? Then yes, you will reveal yourself. However, no, he won't be on screen at any point during this.
Kayla.
Hopefully.
I like that.
Way to
I
commit,
like that.
Kayla. Way to
You
commit.
It's not going to get you many points, but I like it. Jerica. Yes. Yes.
That's
All
a
right.
hedgehog.
Very good.
A realistic one.
I love it.
Hopefully, we'll get Kayla
Excellent
a half
work.
point
Excellent
if she's
work.
right and a half point if she's wrong. That's my.
I agree.
ruling.
I agree with that.
I like that. I like that. Perfect. All right.
Low stakes.
Will Silk Song, the dumbest fucking game ever, appear? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and flip because I am certainly going to say no. Don't get your hopes up.
I'm
P-Swag,
also going to say no.
Cognitive Clips.
I think they have to. I think it's a yes. I think they have to.
Ooh, that's dumb. Cayman? Yes.
For posterity's sake,
Kayla.
yes.
Yes, I think
Yes.
similar
Oh,
to Jordan
that's-
that they have to.
Oh, that's dumb. Jerica.
You're gonna say this is dumb, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
I think so. It's finally tied. And I never
Worth
said that
mentioning.
about this
Honestly-
game.
It might happen.
I was going to say worth
Who was
mentioning.
the other no?
Yula in the chat says he has Team Chair at gunpoint. So
Oh,
Maybe-
got it.
maybe it is a yes. It might be a
Right.
yes.
Cool.
Hopefully
Love it.
they're probably begging to be released from this hellish development cycle. Am I right, P-Swag?
You're not wrong. I love this image that you've created here and didn't alter.
I-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
a
an
Silk Song
engine.
key art with a voice bubble, and it says "I dumb," as
Yeah.
being said by Hornet. Hornet, the dumb main character of the dumb game Silk Song.
Wait, that's
Excellent.
the main character's name is Hornet? I always thought it was Hollow Knight.
Yeah. No,
Fuck
Hollow Knight's the
me.
fucking. I don't even think that's the guy. I don't even know who Hollow Knight is, if I'm being honest.
What is this fucking
The
Legend
Hollow
of
Knight
Zelda
is in the
bullshit?
first.
It's like how the main character of Elden Ring is Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, accurate.
Yeah, I agree. Will we hear Sam Fisher's goggles? You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
I'm flipping. I say no.
I say never again.
Wow. Cognitive Clips.
Go to somebody else. I'm doing something.
All right. Cayman.
We're going with a yes on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Kayla.
I'm going with who is that? No.
Oh, excellent. It's John Splintercell.
Steve Cuisinart.
Jerica. No, I don't care.
Okay, I'm ready. We're gonna have
Very good.
Walton Goggins, Sam Fisher goggles,
Wow.
and the answer's still no.
Sure.
That's pretty good. That's
Is that
pretty
a
good.
State Farm
God.
Insurance logo?
No, it's
Oh, it
his
is kind of a
goggles.
little
It's just
bit.
very
That's
poorly
what it
drawn.
reminds me of. Oh, it's his goggles. Damn. I'm more
What I
familiar
would-
with
His goggles.
State
They make
Farm
a stupid
Insurance
sound.
than I am Sam Fisher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hmm.
What I would give
Um,
for Walton
Like a
Goggins
good
at Summer Game
emu
Fest.
or whatever it is.
So many people are against this. I see coal mines. I see breaks too. I see big freaking. I don't think we're seeing this. A lot of no's in the chat. Okay, listen. That is our general 5 questions for the overarching June 1st through 12th window, right? Big swings. I want to get more specific. So the questions that I ask you next, the next 5 questions, are about the Xbox Game Showcase, which is already confirmed to happen on June 8th, Sunday, June 8th, which of course we will be live streaming right here on Drop In Dropout Pod, twitch.tv/Drop In Dropout Pod, youtube.com/. Okay. the first question is, will we see Fable gameplay? Will we see Fable gameplay? I say very much yes. Chat, sound off on this. It's not delayed to 2026.
Yes.
All right, Cog.
Yes'm.
Yes'm. Cayman. Yes. Kayla.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. And Jerica. Yes, fuck me.
I'm so ready for this game. I'm so sad it got delayed, but I'm also very happy because that means they know what they're
Yeah.
doing. They know their limitations.
I'd like to officially
been aligned.
Well, so I would like to change that. I would like to change my answer to no if I'm allowed. Noah. I'm trying to get a point.
We'll allow this.
I'm trying to get a point here.
Sure.
He's playing to win, not with his heart, is what he's saying.
Actually,
Okay, hold
no,
on.
we actually don't want that. That defeats the purpose of having whiteboards.
Okay, fine. I'll say yes.
I fear you are not. I fear you are not allowed to change your option. No, fuck you, says Noah.
Split nut hairs here for a second. Are we talking like 5-minute gameplay, or are we talking like gameplay that's going to show up in a montage of other things?
I'm talking about like Fable.
Something we've
Fable
never seen
gameplay to
before.
me is like UI on the screen, press X to swing your sword. Like this was clearly in engine being played by a human or like on a computer type of thing.
Surely if we do see gameplay, it's like what's changed with the combat system? Like what does that look like now? So I hope that's what it is.
Yeah, they've trickled Fable to us quite a bit now at this point. Like we've low-key seen this game 3 times and then like a kind of big visual update via some screenshots when it got delayed earlier this year out of 2025. So I feel like there's a real world where this could be the game that kind of fills the time slot that we're in right now next year, like Doom, or perhaps like a couple months ago where it could be something earlier. What's an early Game Pass drop this year?
South of Midnight? Well,
Xbox first party. Yeah, South of Midnight is a perfect example in that April region as well. I think it could be Avowed also would be a good example. Like Xbox is doing a pretty good job of staggering their releases if they think that they are good for 2025. I think 2026 is going to be early for Fable, and it would make sense that they show it at least their big showcase at some point.
Please let it be in my early March or April region. I want to be in that region of my body. I don't know where that's at, but I just know it's early.
Call that
early
the
in the year.
The nether portion, the nether region. Sometimes people
please
call it.
God.
If we don't see Fable at Summer Game Fest, it will be one of the 4 at the next _ event.
Right. That makes sense. I do like that. Chat seems pretty much Chat seems pretty much on board with Fable for sure. So pretty good stuff. All right. Will Starfield get any real screen time? And what I mean by this is I don't mean Starfield pulls up in a montage. I mean that Starfield is like featured in some way. It gets a 30-second thing that is just Starfield. Starfield's logo pops up, new content for Starfield, Starfield update, Starfield of some sort. Will we see any presence of Starfield? I'm going no on this.
Lol, no.
Lol, no. Cognitive Clips.
This is a cat named Starfield.
No.
And the answer is no.
Very good.
That was quick.
Damon?
No, Starfield sucks.
Oh, interesting. Kayla?
No, I don't think so.
Yep, that's fair.
Does this answer count?
Oh.
Yes, a TV show is coming. Very interesting. Yeah, that's a yes. That counts. That's full point.
Jake,
Nice.
have you heard rumblings of Starfield, or is this just a Jake thought?
This is a Jake thought about like what was supposed to be 2 years ago a pillar of Xbox's first party lineup, a new Bethesda universe, and it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Are they going to try to reinvigorate here, or are we pretty much done for? Because I think that last expansion landed in with a fucking soft thud.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Slight
Jerica,
squelch.
Have you heard this is a rumor, or are you just hoping?
Neither one. I just could see it happening with the success of Fallout. Like I could see it happen. I could see them trying to, and maybe this is accompanied by like DLC or some big update. So I should have added that on my answer, but I feel like they're not done with Starfield. I think it is an IP. They're gonna try to get relevant and make it matter. Like they spend too much time with it, and I just don't see Bethesda cutting their losses with any of their IP. Like they got to figure out a way to make this relevant again. I had a good time with Starfield. I love that game. So
I'm with you, Jerica. I'm a Starfield defender. Cayman, you are a Starfield hater. Do you think they just let this one go? Are we done with the Starfield franchise entirely?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, look, if the TV show does come out, which I'd be shocked if it actually does, and it does come out and it doesn't like set the world on fire, like we will never hear about Starfield again. They will go back to Fallout. They will go back to Elder Scrolls, because why would you leave those money-making cash cows for something that has ostensibly just been a wet fart most of the time?
Sure. Yeah. No, I like it. Well, we see a new Activision or Rare platformer. And what I mean by this for audio listeners is I have a picture of 4 characters here. I don't mean new IP. I don't mean that, Rare's long rumored, what the fuck is the Rare game that's been announced for 25 years that still isn't out? Something with animals. Everwild. Great pull, Jerica. I'm talking about
weird because I could care less. It's the only thing I fucking remember ever in my life.
Yeah.
Of all
Everwild.
the games.
My question is will we get a brand new Banjo or Conquer from Rare? Or here's what I'll say. I'm calling them Activision and Rare platformers. I don't really care who develops them. Do we get a brand new platforming game from somebody inside Microsoft or third party from one of the 4 characters, Rare, Banjo and Conquer, Activision, Crash, and Spyro?
So specifically these 4 characters.
These
not
4
just
characters.
any
of these get a brand new game? They finally make it happen. My answer is unequivocally yes, it's finally time.
Mine is Noir.
All right. No, it remains not the time. Pog?
Mine is you can't spell Spyro without Y. Forget.
So true. Cayman?
No.
No. Kayla?
Yes, and Spyro.
Ooh, Spyro in particular. Jerica?
Yeah.
I'm putting all my balls on the table here. I'm not including Conquer, but I think we get all 3 in a game together. That's my bold
That would
prediction.
be very, very cool. Very, very cool. I want to hand it to Cog. Cog, what are you thinking on this matter?
Was it just last year, the year before, that they did the whole Spyro Reignited trilogy? Did he just ask me and walk away?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
He sure did.
Come on, man. Fill time.
No, it because of the Reignited trilogy coming out recently, like I think that may have been them not only bringing back a classic, but also kind of gauging interest in or continued interest in the franchise. So I think it's likely that we see a Spyro announced.
Sure. There were rumors of Toys for Bob working on Spyro before that because they had the success of the Reignited trilogy. But at this point, that was like 2018 or 17, I want to say.
Was it that long ago?
It was pre-Crash Bandicoot 4, I believe.
I thought it was like 2 years ago.
No, it's been a while. It definitely isn't 2020 or prior.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Pre-pandemic, yes.
A lot of Crash love in the chat. Lots of Crash love.
I know. I love it. That makes me feel so fucking happy.
The Dave Matthews song?
These are my people. But Toys for Bob was at Microsoft. They were not at Microsoft. I apologize. They were at Activision. Like most Activision studios, they were pulled off of the Spyro project they were working on and put onto Call of Duty Warzone, obviously. And then when Activision was acquired by Microsoft, there is a really interesting deal that led to Toys for Bob spinning off and going independent with what appeared to be like a light handshake deal with Microsoft to potentially develop a Spyro game. So I'm thinking it could be finally time to show that. But either way, Toys for Bob is an independent studio. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, our next question. The word PlayStation will be heard how many times? Out loud. I don't care how many times there is a PlayStation logo in the bottom right corner of the end of a trailer. Again, this is at the Xbox event only. Will they say the word PlayStation out loud? How many times? Right? How many times will the word PlayStation be heard out loud? If they say our friends at Sony, it does not count. If they say our friends at PlayStation, it does count. I'm going to go and reveal. I think they will say the word PlayStation 2 times. Patrick?
One time.
One time. Dog?
3 times.
3 times. Cayman?
Big fat
0
goose egg
times.
times.
Yep.
How's it feel to be
I
wrong
like
every
it.
single time you answer a question?
Kayla?
I'd ask my wife. Jeez, whoop! It happens all the time.
Me and Cayman are soul sisters this evening because I also said 0.
Wow.
Yep.
She's
It's
Put me in
reasonable.
that pod.
Jerica.
She's looking up.
Wow. The whole right side. So we
Yeah.
have 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0.
I had a 0 until I chickened out and put a little 1 in my 0.
Yeah.
Coal Mines asked, does the robotic PlayStation voice count when the logo pops up?
Yep. PlayStation. For sure.
PlayStation.
That is the word being muttered. But I don't know. I think that there is a world where the zeros are right and that it does not get said out loud at all, despite maybe having it flashed on the screen at the end where it's like this game is coming, at the bottom, that bottom third where it says like Xbox Series S, Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch 2. It could pop up a few times.
Yeah.
But there's a world where they don't even want to say that name out loud on their stage. I don't know. I'm not sure.
They're not gonna say it.
Yeah. Even though I said 1 officially, and we can't change rules because this is a dictatorship.
Correct.
Xbox. Why would they say the word PlayStation? You know what I mean?
Yep. I don't know.
I have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
I think there's at least 1. So I think no matter what, Patrick is going to get something because
This is the nicest
would
thing
be-
you've ever said about me.
thank you. It would behoove them to mention how successful their franchises have been on PlayStation. Because it was it was in the news, I guess maybe yesterday, where it was like 3 out of the top 5 best-selling games from April were Microsoft game studios, and they were like 2 of them were because they were put on PlayStation.
It's a good. I mean, it's a
It
good
was
point
3.
because they just care about the money at this point. They've made that very clear.
Right? Yes, exactly. So they'd be like, we've had success at PlayStation, and now we're excited to also announce that blah 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 is coming. So. I don't think they're going to obviously focus on it because they still need to promote their own stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it gets mentioned at least once. But
That stat that you're looking for is last month in April, the top selling 3 games on the PlayStation Store digitally were Minecraft at number 2, number 1 was Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and number 3 was, I believe, Sea of Thieves, which is just wild. And then
they had Forza and Indiana Jones. Or both.
it wasn't Sea of Thieves, it was Forza. Yeah. Yep, it was Forza was number 3, and then this month I'm assuming Doom will be up there pretty far up as well.
Oh, yes.
Pretty wild. But yeah, I could definitely see. My guess is that there will be a single game that gets that PlayStation splash screen, and we hear them say PlayStation coming to Xbox and PlayStation. And I think I can picture Phil Spencer saying, partnering close with our friends at PlayStation and Nintendo, we're bringing Xbox games to more people around the world. That whole fucking thing that he's going to do. Will the Elder Scrolls 6 get a subtitle? And I gave an example of what it could be if you look at the screen here. The Elder Scrolls 6 Glitterfuck.
Whoa.
Yes or no? Will it get a subtitle?
If it's not that, I'm not buying it.
We're gonna hold you.
I think that's why I'm getting it in early. So when everyone goes, probably they're going to announce Glitterfuck, you'll know where it came from. I'm saying yes. I think it's high time.
I'm saying
Patrick?
no.
Oh. It says something different on your board.
This says come mines. Sorry.
Some minds got it.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Okay.
Are you asking?
I don't think it's going to be there at all.
Not going to be there at all.
No.
All
That's
right,
fair.
Cayman.
That's fair. I'm gonna go with yes. Phil's
Oh
time.
yeah, Kayla.
Yes.
And I'm answering this
Yes.
question the way it was asked me, unless I missed a point where it was like, will it get a subtitle? Yeah, but it won't be this summer. But it is yes.
Mm.
Well,
No,
we
no,
are
this is
talking
for
in-
this is for that. It's within the time. It's at the event. You want to
Okay,
change
that's
it?
where
Well, let's
it
go.
will be announced at the event.
Yeah, will it get a subtitle at the Xbox event?
No. I guess I can't change my answer, but I thought in general, yes, I'm sure it will.
No. all this window.
I see what you're saying.
But now, every question that I ask you for the remainder is at Keely's official show, all at the actual Summer Game Fest. All right. Now let's keep in mind this is the 5th annual Summer Game Fest, I believe, maybe the 6th, maybe the 4th. And this is the show that is anchored very similarly to the Game Awards minus the awards, or more specifically Gamescom opening night live, which will happen in August. This is going to be a lot of trailers, a lot of third parties, some big swings. There's been some pretty cool stuff revealed over the years here at Summer Game Fest. Not the biggest show in the world, but it seems to be getting bigger and bigger, and it is really becoming the only like standard destination for a lot of games to land these days. So all of the questions that I ask are about the actual Summer Game Fest event happening June 6th at the YouTube Theater in California, being live streamed across the globe on dropindropoutpod.com. All right, twitch.tv/dropindropoutpod. So all of these questions are in there. Now, there are some questions in here that are going to have a interesting little asterisk. All right, things are going to get a little fucking funky in here.
Oh no.
All right. Will Kojima speak? Will Kojima speak?
Oh fuck.
Will he speak?
Whoa, hold on a second. When we say speak, are we talking like someone will speak for him?
No, he'll
Or
say
are we
words.
talking like he will say words?
He will have to say the words. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I've heard him say thank you, Jeff, many times.
Okay, so he'll okay.
All right. I'm going yes. P-Swag.
Yes.
All right, Jordan, yes.
Yes.
Cayman, yes.
Yes.
Kayla,
Yes.
yes. Jerica, yes. And he will show us something. Ooh, I like that.
And
I
I
like
say
that.
he
Yeah,
was
it can be
speaking
pre-recorded.
riddles.
That's fine. That's fine. Also, the comments made about real humans during this segment of the show are not a reflection of my own opinions, nor the opinions of my cast. It's a character that I play on podcasts. Will Troy Baker wear a dumb hat? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm saying no. Troy Baker doesn't own any dumb hats. These are just cool hats, and you guys don't have any taste. Swag.
So that I was gonna say something similar. He does. His hats aren't dumb, and we would love to have him on the show.
I feel like
All
his
right,
hats
perfect.
always had a time frame. Those hats were cool at some point when he was wearing. He was trendy.
Yeah,
when it was trendy.
like the late 1800s.
Oh, come on. Hats are cool. See, I like a good hat.
I
Resounding
know.
yes.
Says
he
the
will
bald
wear-
guy wearing a hood on stream right now. So I don't
Right.
know. You know,
It's your
How
brand.
I'm
much I
not
could be
convinced you have
talking.
a top of a
Cog-
head at all.
what were you saying? What was your pick?
Yes, he will absolutely. Assuming he shows up at all, he will be wearing some sort of hat that is not in current fashion.
Oh yeah, Cayman.
I'm gonna go with no. We're being presumptuous. He'll even be there.
All right. I mean, you're right. You're right. I just know he loves to show up. For a voice actor, he sure does seem like a face actor. Kayla?
You fucking
I
bitch.
say yes, and I think he's just in the audience. They pan to him for sure, and he's wearing a dumb hat. Absolutely. Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
Mhm.
That's fair. That's good.
Jerica?
Mhm.
In that bottom right picture with the biggest
Mhm.
hat, he looks like Bradley Cooper. Y'all see
Oh.
it?
Yeah.
I can
Who
see it.
was
little
on an award show? Wait, no, I'm thinking the wrong guy.
He has been to an award show for sure.
Without a doubt. Without a
Yeah.
doubt. Will a presenter or guest say fuck? Now, this doesn't count if it is in like a game show. If they show an M-rated game and they're like, get the fucking machine guns, that doesn't count. I need a personality to be on stage saying something like, I'm pleased as fuck to bring you our next guest.
Whoa.
You know, or they say, fuck the Oscars. Will they say fuck?
the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars. I say yes. He's right.
I say no.
No. Clean show. Jordan?
Yes.
Yes. Cayman?
Yes, yes.
Gonna go with a no on that one.
Oh, Kayla.
I'm gonna go no as well. I don't think so.
All right. Jerica? No. A lot
Now-
of people think the family-friendly fucking Summer Game Fest is coming up.
Will
First
any
in the day.
presenters actually fuck? Yes.
Yes.
No, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. There's no doubt in my mind that's the case. All right.
Summer Bang Fest, am I right, guys?
Sure, you're not wrong.
Hey. Nintendo famously does not play very nice with Jeff Keighley. They usually shell out and support financially in the form of an ad space. They usually take 30 to 90 seconds to roll a here's the shit that's come out at Nintendo recently. But very rarely since one of the last times we saw them was the announcement of Joker at the Game Awards, like 2018 or something like that. But with a console launch the day prior, does Nintendo show up in any significant presence at Summer Game Fest? I think it's time to break the silence at SGF. Yes, Nintendo is going to show up. They're bringing something to the table. Yes, from P-Swag. Jordan?
You're saying at SGF proper on the 6th? NARP.
Yep. NARP. Cayman? No. Kayla?
I think yes, because I don't think there's going to be a direct. So I think they want to be somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Jerica?
No.
No. All right. Patrick, you're the only one that voted yes with me. What are you thinking?
I think.
I said yes.
Oh, yeah, Kayla, I'm sorry.
Jake loves silencing women. I just think that, like you said, like with it having launched the night prior, or the morning prior rather, I just don't see a world in which we don't get something, even if it's, I mean, you say outside of an ad, at the very absolute least, we get an ad for Mario Kart World during SGF, but I feel like we probably see a little bit more. I mean, it'd be a huge fucking get to get a release date for something like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I don't think that he would get that, but I'm thinking, yeah.
I honestly, I'm with you. And here's like my reasoning is that Nintendo lately has been down to just like tweet out a game announcement if they don't have a fucking direct planned. Like it seems like they always have something locked and loaded. They haven't talked too much about like the deep future. We really don't know many things that are planned for 2026 outside of like Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life for the regular Switch. I don't know if they're going to show something new, but I would expect something like you were just alluding to, like a fourth Metroid Prime trailer or an expanded trailer, or look at like exclusive whatever versions of Pokemon that are going to be in Legend ZA, and then drop a release date for it. Like this game's coming out in October, and that's a nice headline for Nintendo, and it's very low investment for them. So that's my guess there.
I like it.
Will Sam Lake do his stupid dance? Now, this doesn't have to be a full production. I don't need backing music. My question is, will he put those two hands beside his face and do his little wobble, even if he's just like, no, and waves it off? Okay, chat's going crazy because it says stupid. Once again, does not represent the thoughts of the cast. That's just whoever prepared this wrote it like that.
Whoever prepared it, man.
And the answer is yes, he will do his cool dance, awesome dance that everyone likes.
No, and Sam, please come on the show.
Sam, come on the show, yeah. Yep.
Nar. Well,
yep. Dumpster
yes.
Boys. Yep. Kayla?
Yes, and I think it'll be exactly what you mentioned, where it'll be just like a little like hee 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 ha ha ha.
Yeah, like
and then
he will tee his ass up on stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. I do think so.
He's never
Jerica?
had a stupid dance. He's a good person. Don't make fun of him. I'm so glad he exists. He makes great games.
Wow.
He can do any dance he wants.
As a good person who does many stupid dances myself, good people can have stupid dances. Don't
Whoa,
forget.
hold on a
Let me see
second.
one.
You just called yourself a good person.
Yeah, but we don't
right.
that.
I need to see this dance.
Bad people can have cool dances too. Are you saying Sam
What
Lake's a
kind
bad
of-
person?
Uh,
That sounded
Eula
more
is-
damning than what I wrote here about his dance.
Eula's giving us the cultural context and saying that they learned that dance in elementary school instead of pledging allegiance.
Whoa.
So let's be clear.
Yeah,
let's
so-
respect.
I'm
Why don't you
sorry,
respect
but
cultures, Jake?
what?
Listen to women and respect culture.
Sam Lake, it's so cool. All right. For these, I have selected contributing members of our community to be the deciding factor of these questions. Noah in chat says, what the fuck? What the question is on for audio listeners, how many anime games will be featured? And it is according to user Noah underscore C92. Now, here's what I mean by that. I don't want us to have to come together and be like, well, what's an anime game and what's not? That's not up to us. It's up to our contributing community member, Noah. Noah will tally the anime games. If he misses one, he's fired and never asked again. But he has to list the anime games that were there. And, you know, if there's reasoning, if he goes, well, that's not really an anime game, it's in a different style, that's Noah's prerogative. That's what I mean here. So it's how many anime games will be featured according to Noah. No funny business. I picked reliable members of the community. I don't think he's going to underdo it or overdo it. It's just a question of like, is it an anime game? And he will decide if it is. How many anime games will be featured? How many?
He asked a good question.
Yeah.
I'm being conscripted to write the anime games down after being conscripted to write the answers about how many anime games there are. I demand pay.
Correct.
That's true. Yeah. Dan
Correct.
Goodshow union.
Listen, Dan Goodshow and High Score Weekly, your times will come. Stop. Be on the right side of history. We have many questions left.
Yeah, like Jake. Always.
All
Noah,
right, here we go.
do you like cucumbers? The reason I ask, I could send you some.
Ooh.
Shade and vegetables. Maybe, let's see, I got Miss Vicky's chips.
I guarantee you, Noah's put a cucumber up his ass at least once.
A banana?
I got 9. Patrick's got 6. You put those together, it's a 96.
It's a 15. I'm saying
Well,
7. 7
okay,
anime
7.
games.
4 from Cayman. Kayla?
3.
3.
Whoa,
Jerica?
Jerica
3.
twins.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
twinsies.
I think you guys
Incredible.
are absolutely insane. There are so many anime games.
So many anime games.
So many.
There are.
At every fucking event. You're
True.
going to hear about anime games that you can't even fathom exist. They're going to be like, it's Link Rises Hyper X3. And it's going to be a 45-second trailer and people are going to go bonkers for it. How many substantial shadow drops will there be according to the Dan Good Show? Now, what does substantial mean? That's up to him. If he says, well, that's a shadow drop for a DLC for Among Us, that doesn't count, then that's not a shadow drop. But if they shadow drop, I don't know, fucking Link's Awakening DX or Mario Party 13, maybe that's substantial to Dan Good Show. How many substantial shadow drops will there be? Substantial. I'm going to go first. The answer is 1.
I also said 1. Dan, don't fuck me.
Right. Cog?
Wow.
I'm saying 3.
3. All right. Cayman.
I'm going 1.
1.
We do
Kayla?
it in 1.
2.
2. And Jerica.
None.
None. I love that
Zero.
someone took none because that's entirely possible. I feel like there's a little bit of I don't know. Like, is it scary to shadow drop something because you think everyone's going to shadow drop something and you don't want to be one of the 4 shadow drops? So everybody just like weasels out and they're like, oh, I'm not shadow dropping. And we get 0.
wouldn't-
Possibly.
I would
No,
never
there's
want to
too
shadow
many-
drop my game.
Yeah.
Ever. It's
It's
I mean,
scary.
I think it's really cool as a gamer, but like from someone that wants to promote their game and get people talking
Nah.
about it. I mean, I think it's cool, but I would never do that.
No.
We've seen it
It's
work. We've
rare.
seen it fail.
Here's the thing we're not taking into consideration is that the people in the games industry, especially those developing games, have to know way more than we do. So if there's some games going to be shadow drop, some big game, other studios are not to drop their shit because they're going to be washed out. There's no way that doesn't happen.
I think that's a very good point.
Yeah.
How many farming games will be featured according to Cirrus Shard? How many farming games?
Oh my god.
Now, does this include games that have an element of farming? Are they farming exclusive games? Are they cozy life sims where farming is a third of it? That's up to Cirrus. How many farming games will be featured at Summer Game Fest? A big question is, do you think there's going to be more farming games than anime or more anime games than farming? I am going 7.
I'm saying 13.
Wow, I love it.
Great.
I'm saying
Hog.
4.
Mm-hmm. Cayman?
Oh, sorry. I'm going 2.
2. Kayla?
I'm going 5.
5.
It's gonna be a
Hopefully
sad
Jerica.
summer game fest for Kayla.
Mine's 3, and that's Kayla with no pants on because I didn't draw them. But she's
Whoa.
farming. She's pantsless and farming, which is
I am
probably how
Kayla.
when she's at home. Playing those farming
Taylor, how
games.
dare you?
3.
Frankly, how dare you? And yes, games can be anime and farming. They can be considered
True.
both lists.
This is true.
According to Coal Mines, how many AAA reveals will there be? They don't have to be brand new reveals. It could be a brand new trailer for a AAA game. It's all up to Coal Mine. How many AAA reveals will there be according to Coal Mines?
This is like first view,
Oh.
like initial, like nothing has been stated, like brand new reveal.
I will leave that up to Coal Mines, and I
Oh,
think
that's
that
right. That's right.
I think it's more of like I would say AAA substantial reveal, where like if they brought Donkey Kong and then they revealed like a bunch of new areas for Donkey Kong and a third playable character for Donkey Kong or something like that, that might be a substantial AAA reveal of a game that's
Okay.
very high profile, you know?
His
So
decision.
it could be a game that we already know about, but is re-revealed as well. And there's a lot we can go into this. I'm going 3 AAA reveals.
10.
P-Swag, please fuck me, Coal Mines is what it says under that.
Oh shit.
Jordan?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Mine says 10, but only 10.
God damn
Right,
it.
it
How the
doesn't say
fuck did
please
this
fuck me, Coal
happen?
Mines.
Yeah.
10.
It's
Holy
what the
shit.
shit. Kayla, I swear
right.
to fuck.
4.
Okay.
See the integrity of the board, right? It keeps us all honest. We can't change it to all have 10s. 6 for Jerica. Oh, yes. And she's flicking her tongue.
Oh boy.
You subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com.
I do feel like Kayla, Jerica, and Cayman have like a few more seconds than the rest of us. They can be
True.
sneaky. They can be sneaky with it.
You can flip it if you
wanna
want.
look at my hands? I'll do it
Patrick-
next time.
Jerica,
Patrick, is
all I
it
ever
you?
want to do is look at your hands.
Oh, I know.
Patrick is
All
horny
right.
tonight.
Has
Can't wait to
anyone
show
ever
you what I've been doing
told
with my
you-
controller.
Cayman, what are you saying?
This is our.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Patrick, you really need to stop with the competitiveness. You tried to ruin fantasy last year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This
I'm not
year, you're
done.
trying to ruin the whiteboard game, and you sent a hitman after me. That's before
Yeah.
as well. That's why my
Oh.
body's
Yeah.
fucked up, and
That's
that's a
correct.
secret we've held off of the show for
Correct.
so long.
Just know this. I won't miss next time, and also I'm not done trying to fuck all y'all in Fantasy Critic this season too.
God
Ain't
damn
no
it.
chance.
Jesus.
All right.
fuck.
Our next question is, what will the entire show be rated out of 10 according
Wow.
to Rabbit128? I will ask Rabbit for their review. I want to know what they will rate it out of 10.
What
Give you guys a
shitty
second.
game does Rabbit like? I can't
Right.
remember.
Like, is Rabbit going to be a harsh critic, or what do we think? Do we think
mean,
that
if-
he will rate it highly?
If Silk Song is there, it's a 10. I know he's a Silk Song sicko.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it. I think Rabbit's going to be a little disappointed. I'm giving him a 6. Patrick?
I think he's gonna give it, because I know him, I think probably better than anybody here, a 42069 D's nuts is what he's gonna give.
Mm.
Perfect. Yeah,
That's
very
actually
good.
spot fucking on.
Yeah.
Got him.
Fuck.
I'm going to say 8.
An 8 from Cognitive Clips came in.
10 out of 10.
Oh.
I got big thoughts. I
Wow.
got big predictions.
Oh,
All right. Kayla?
6 out of 10.
6. Good pick, if I say so myself.
Yes.
Jerica?
7.
7 out of 10. Very good. So we have a 6, 7, a 10, and a 42069.
D's nuts, yeah.
said
If I
eight
have
as
to
well.
have
8
if I
from
have to
Cog.
have a real number for the sake of the show, I had 11 written down before I changed it to
Whoa.
42969 D's nuts.
Really?
I fear
Yeah.
we are not taking answer changes at this time.
Right.
All right.
You know, not a change. That wasn't a change, Jake. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Cool.
Let's be clear.
The last question, our bonus question, in the event of a tie, will High Score Weekly be satisfied? Yes or no?
What was the
What
Nintendo
does that
answer again?
mean?
I forget. That will determine.
What does that mean? Anyone's guess. Will High Score Weekly be satisfied? I think yes. Patrick?
I said no. When is he?
Oh, very good. Cognitive Flips.
I said yes with a little cup of tea.
Wow.
Oh,
A couple.
never. Very nice.
He's never satisfied.
Kayla, the one who
He's
probably knows
always
High Score
searching
Weekly
for
the most.
something.
I worried about this.
Okay, yeah. I say yes because he's not a harsh critic, truly, when it comes to shows.
Oh,
So
all right. Jerica.
Mine's a joke. Never. He's got the tea. Use promo code ClickerBait to get it cheaper.
Very good.
Hey, what's that website? Rattle it off.
I have no idea.
Langley
Because
Tea
it's
Farm.
not his
he's gonna post,
username.
he'll post it. Oh, he'll post it. Don't you
Oh, he's
worry.
got my, yeah.
Don't you worry.
I don't know if it's
All right.
extra words. I'm not going to butcher it.
Very nice. We are locked in. As a reminder, I want to verbalize what's going on one last time for any of our audio listeners or video VOD watchers over on YouTube. On June 1st, it is the Halo Jamboree. That is a Sunday night. It kicks off Madness Week. We have our regularly scheduled Monday night Clickerbait, our Tuesday night Spotlight games. On Wednesday night, the 4th, we're going to say goodbye to the Switch 1 by playing Mario Kart 8 with chat. Go ahead and join us that evening. We'll race against each other. Who is the biggest racist in Drop In, Drop Out? We're going to find out. Then on Thursday, the 5th, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. It'll be a light day in the morning as everyone gets their console and starts playing. We might have some individual streams. We might have some bonus streams on Drop In, Drop Out, depending on who is doing what and playing what when. And then that evening, we will all come together with hands-on impressions of our Switch 2 launch. On Friday, it's Summer Game Fest proper, and then that evening, we're going to play Mario Kart World with everybody. So you have a day to practice. If you're getting a Nintendo Switch 2, be with us on Friday night because it's going down. Racing will happen. On Saturday, it's the Future Game Show. On Sunday, the 8th, it is the Xbox Showcase. Then the following week, is there going to be anything that wraps things up on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday as far as a Nintendo Direct or a State of Play or a Ubisoft or an EA show? I don't know. But what I can guarantee you is a JK Games for Clickerbait episode on Monday, a Spotlight Games on Tuesday the 10th, and on the 12th, June 12th, we will go over the results of the predictions we just made. Easy
Jake,
as that.
Two things. One, Noah says pick in Jake's DMs if he wants to peel it up and review. So that's in your DMs
Okay.
about, I guess, our votes.
Very nice.
And Dan Goodshow asks, what time is the Jamboree?
Excellent question. It's Sunday night. We typically have a universal go live for 8 p.m. Eastern time. We might move it up a little bit and get things started a little early, and people will trickle in and trickle out throughout the evening because we do want it to be a longer festivity. And if you're not familiar with the Halo Jamboree, the idea is we're not just playing Halo together with chat. It's the Master Chief Collection, which you can get on Xbox or PC. It's also on Game Pass if you have Game Pass for Xbox or PC. We are also doing it the right way, the way that Keely would want us to. We're getting Doritos and Mountain Dew, so we're all going to be chowing down on gamer snacks and having ourselves a night, kicking off Gamer Christmas together. But be assured that by 8 p.m. Eastern time on that Sunday night, the 1st, we'll be making it happen.
So go to triplein.pod.com.
Yeah,
that's not something.
Exactly.
I do want to mention as well, there is still another Drop In, Drop Out podcast in between now and then. However, a week from this Thursday, that episode, I didn't want to leave it to be the summer game prediction thing because everybody and their mother will be doing one that week. We are going to focus that week on our retrospective of Nintendo in-game launches and talking about the future of the Nintendo Switch 2 post-launch. So exciting episodes coming up. Madness begins soon. Thank you guys all so much for getting your whiteboards. Look at this. Perfect.
Look at that. One more thing too about the Jamboree. Go to the Discord if you have any custom game modes that you want us to consider building and adding and all that kind of thing. So drop out
nice.
where you can find the Discord.
Hell yes, we can. Very good. In chat, thank you guys so much for your input on those. We are far from done. We are only at arguably the halfway point of the evening because I want to talk in more specifics with you all about what is coming down the pipeline in these next couple weeks. Now, we can be a little less specific here in our predictions. We don't need to say what's going to happen before the 12th. We're no longer on the hook for anything. There's no repercussions if we're wrong here. The way that I framed this is I wanted some realistic expectations from you, things that you really do think that we're going to see in the Summer Game Fest era, if there's a state of play, if there's a Nintendo Direct. If not, what do you think is going to be in this kind of June area pipeline? So I got some grounded things and I got some crazy fucking polls where it's like, if this happens, I will lose my mind. And we also asked our sweet Discord community, so we'll be pulling in some of those as well throughout the evening as we talk about what's on the way. So I want to throw it to Jerica first. We went around, we started with Patrick and then Cog the whole way. We're going to go reverse this time. Jerica, will you give me a prediction for the next month and a half for the Summer Games Fest era of something you really think will happen? Not confirmed, but you think is going to happen.
I'm going to kick it off with saying somewhere, I would assume SGF, like proper that night, we finally get an update on Wolf Among Us 2. I think that is an update.
Ooh.
I've never played the first one, and I literally have been holding off until we get a release date for the second one in hopes of a remake of the first one or an updated version. But it's been a long time. I think it's been since like 2017 since like got announced or something. It's been a while.
Is it the rebuilt Telltale that's working on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Very cool.
Like, you gotta play the first one.
Cool. Any of you played the first one? Any Wolf Among Us fans?
Fucking love the Wolf Among Us.
Okay.
Really?
I can't wait to finally play.
Great platinum.
It's weird.
On that bad boy too.
Really? Cayman, you got it?
Oh yeah, it's great. You have to play it.
Yeah, it's easy.
Perfect. Yeah, great game.
Interesting. Very cool. All right, Kayla, will you give me a realistic prediction?
You know, this one might not seem realistic to some. However, I would stretch to imagine that it is realistic. I think we get something from about Resident Evil 9. I think we get something. I think we get it doesn't even have to be something big, maybe just that it exists and that it's happening. Maybe just like a little tease, maybe a logo, maybe a name. But I think we get something for sure.
Yes, I think Coal Mines and Dan Goodshow both included that in their realistic predictions for the Summer Game Fest time.
Do we think there's a chance?
Do
we think there's a chance it's not 9 and it's a different remake?
It could be, but I'm leaning in my gut more towards 9.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just what I feel in my soul. But who knows?
I think they dropped some sort of photo recently where there was like either some shadows or some like planks of wood that looked like it was making a 9. So people were kind of speculating. So I could see
I missed that.
Yeah, I think
the plan has always been to be a trilogy. You know, we might not have. I don't know if y'all know how Village ends, but there's room. There's some room for expansion, but also a reason to bring back old characters, which that's rumors have been saying that. So I'm excited if they do bring back some other characters.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Mr. Hawks in the chat says Resident Evil 9 glitter fuck, which I think is definitely something.
Day one for me.
Call back. We love to see it.
That game's $80. I'm gonna put my money down on it. Sold.
I agree. Yeah, that's just smart. That's just smart. All right. Resident Evil 9. I am going to agree with that one. I think it's time for Resident Evil. Cayman, you got something crazy for me?
Some might say it's crazy. Do you want something locked in? This is going to happen, or do you want a wild card pick? Where are we at? Right
go lock in. I'm sorry, I teed you up incorrectly. I said you got something crazy for me. I want something more realistic.
Sure you say that. You say that, but this realistic pick is honestly the craziest thing anyone will say this tonight, and that is we will get a concrete release date for Hollow Knight Silksong.
Whoa!
Agreed.
And I also wrote in my notes, cue Jake's stupid monologue. So
Silksong.
We already have that clipped into a show.
More like Silk Wrong for doing that to their fans. Team Cherry. Or all right.
Yeah, you have it memorized. I know you do.
I got a whole spiel. Cog, give me a realistic prediction.
I think we get a new trailer and a release date for Judas.
Oh.
Oh, damn it. I had written down Metroid for your prediction. That is a really good one, and I have not thought about Judas in the last month, and I love that pick. Inspired pick. What's the
Judas
vibe on
was
BioShock
on my
in this room?
Ooh, go to me next. Go to me next.
Oh man,
Patrick, what are your opinions on BioShock?
I think a lock prediction, because I do this every time, is we finally see BioShock.
Really,
if I say
2K?
it enough times, we're gonna get it. If I say it enough times, we're gonna get it.
That was me with Metroid.
it comes out before Judas.
Whoa.
Now I don't think
that would
that.
be crazy.
I think that based on I don't know. I researched a little bit because I was gonna say Judas too, but based on the things I've been
Judas
reading
won.
online, Judas might be a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Seems to be
entirely
development
possible.
hells over there. They're putting up job postings asking more people to come help.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be playing it
And
right now, I
Levine.
think.
Mismanaging, perhaps? Who could tell? Shout out D Guns for the big raid. Raiders, welcome. We're talking about our predictions for Summer Game Fest 2025, but not just Summer Game Fest proper, the show, that whole E3 type era, anything that might happen in June. And we have them centered around realistic predictions and some unrealistic predictions. P-Schwag, give an example of what a realistic prediction might look like.
I just did the BioShock one. Should I do another one?
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of tacked on to cost. I want you to bring up whatever you want first.
Great. Hades 2 release date.
Like for 1.0?
A 1.0.
A 1.0 release date for Hades 2. It gotta be.
I like it.
My thinking
Let me push your...
is
go.
So we already know that it's coming to the Switch 2. They've said it's going to launch on Switch 2 whenever they hit 1.0. And I don't remember if they specifically say that it's this year, but I feel like if they didn't say that specifically, it was strongly implied. And I just feel like for now, to kind of tease next week's episode, the Switch 2 launch lineup is just kind of dog shit. And so I feel like if you could get like a launch window Hades 2 date, that would be fucking huge for the Switch 2. So that's part of my thinking.
Yeah. I think Hades 2 has a fine line between what I think is like 1.0 ready and what comes before and after 1.0. I think is flexible, basically.
Sure.
Which is an interesting thing. Like, you could really just say it's Hades 1.0, add 2 more little updates, and that game has so many features and so many hours that it'll be more 1.0 than the vast majority of games that release that are not in like an early access phase. Full of content already at this very moment on PC. So I think that's very feasible. That'll make a lot of sense. Very cool.
Thanks. I appreciate
let's
that.
Let's talk to the handsome guy in the top left of the screen about what he thinks for his realistic prediction.
So I'm so glad you come to me again, Jake.
Patrick just reversed our setups so that he is the person in the top left. I was speaking about myself. I'll take over here. I think we are going to see the follow-up to Sonic Frontiers. So Sonic Frontiers 2, or whatever they call it, but it's going to be the full 3D platformer that works off of the bones of Sonic Frontiers. It has been a very interesting couple of years for Sonic Team. They have pumped out a game yearly, in some cases 2 games. However, none of them have been their full effort at like a AA, AAA game. And Sonic Frontiers was very much that. And my own bits against me. I own that bit. I invented it.
Well, it's too late. I played it against Sonic.
The thing that I constantly say about Sonic Frontiers is that game was pretty good, but had great bones. I think it could do pretty well with a new coat of paint and a little bit more time, fleshing out some of those levels and environments. So we'll see. It was 2022 for that one. Dream Team and Superstars, which was the 2D one, came out in 2023, and then Sonic Shadow Generations in 2024. And the new content that they put in Sonic Shadow Generations is some of the best 3D Sonic that we've had in a long time. So
it's definitely not hard to improve on a 3 out of 10. So I do look forward to the next Sonic Frontiers.
Well, speaking of great bones, Patrick, you got something else for us?
Is it my turn again?
I don't know.
No.
Sure.
I just wanted to say you had great bones.
All right. I want to get fucking crazy in here, and I want to keep the order right now. So I want to give Jerica her opportunity to take a long shot here. Give me something that you think it could happen, but it would be fucking madness. You know, grounded in reality.
I think we finally see Kojima at an Xbox showcase, and we see a new trailer for Overdose OD.
Whoa.
I like that a lot.
It's a good
I like that a
pull.
lot.
I don't think
Wait
we
a minute.
get a date. I don't think we get a whole lot of gameplay, but we see like a story trailer and maybe a little bit of an idea. Because like I know he's literally they are done with Death Stranding 2 at this point, and you're like, how does he have all the time? He did an interview like a while back, just sort of saying like, obviously this game, I always love when Kojima is a serious guy, just making silly things. I think that's one of the things I love about him. Like the games are just silly, but they also take themselves seriously, and like vice versa. And with OD, he's like in this interview, he says like it's a game like no other. I can't go into too much detail. It's so hard to explain. We don't know. It's a bit risky and it's a new challenge. This is compelling because it also raises even more questions. Yes, that's me, Jerica, asking more questions. But PT, which was the playable teaser for Silent Hill, was actually able to make a huge impact, and it had very little content. So it would be thrilling to see OD take a similar approach. This interview was with Variety in January of this year. It's like, who's to say this game can't be a smaller experience? And I think initially it was something he could do with Xbox to test a game or a concept with like cloud, like streaming, like something like that. Who knows if it still has those bones? I don't know. We don't know what the game is. Kojima's also like, I don't know. So, but I think we see something about it this year at the Xbox showcase.
Do you think the month that Death Stranding 2 comes out, he would talk about another game though, just to try to poke a hole?
Yeah, it's going to come out for Xbox, and it's going to be something totally different. So, yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
He's got
Dude,
3
literally
games in
last
development.
week was literally last week was talking about fucking Fizzant 6 years from now, and the other games that will come out after he dies that he invented. So this man doesn't care about talking about that shit.
That's the month.
And I don't think there's like a huge focus on it, but
right.
I definitely see him like showcasing something about it. It might be just itty bitty, more than likely itty bitty, small.
Have you guys heard the theory about like OD maybe being more than just a Kojima and Jordan Peele project? About how it could be like a multiple genre bending situation that has other directors, other like established directors, like Nicholas Winding Refn, I think is his name. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but the guy who did like Drive, I think, and like Neon Demon and all that kind of stuff, who is always with Kojima, and he's friends with so many people that make movies. I feel like it could be something that's like episodic, like 5 different little parts of a game that make a whole story that are through 5 different visionary directors working with Kojima or something like that.
Was he the guy that was supposed to do the Metal Gear movie for a minute?
I don't know the answer to that.
That sounds sort of right.
Sure.
I think you're either right or very close to it. Probably right.
Patrick, you're sort of right, you know?
Yeah.
I'll take sort of right, sure.
You're sort of
I
right.
think if he did that, like 5 different people with chunks telling the same story, I don't think it will be any less incoherent than anything else he's done. So I would say go for it.
Yeah.
Right. For sure. Very nice. Kayla, blow my mind. What do you got for us?
Well, this is really, really long shot. I'm being vulnerable here. You guys are kind of like you're saying long shot, but like honestly, it's on the radar. Let me give you something not on the radar.
The Shire game comes out. Is that your long shot?
I can't wait for that.
I also High Score Weekly said you're thinking of the Kong Skull Island guy that was going to do the Metal Gear movie.
Okay.
Got it.
I have no context for that. I'm assuming that's correct. I think that we're going to hear something about Haunted Chocolatier from Concern 8. And that might even live at Wholesome Games Direct, which is coming. That's a pretty small platform for him to announce, but it is, a small him. It's just him. I mean, at this point, it's not. I think there's more people involved, but I think we hear something, and maybe it's not, maybe it's very small, but like, and that's really a long shot because we know that he did have an updated dev blog post on his site recently. But yeah, that's my hopeful prediction. I would love to see that happen. Very much.
Very cool.
Distance.
Let's go around the horn, starting with Patrick. Well, I'll start and then we'll go to Patrick, and we'll all say how many estimated hours with Stardew Valley we each have. Me, 250. Patrick.
20.
Hog?
Yeah, I think I'm in the 20 to 30 range, something like that.
Eamon?
About 15 minutes.
Whoa.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Kayla?
Wait, you said cumulatively, like total?
Yeah, like how much have you played in your life?
Oh, I'm embarrassed now.
No, it's okay. I put
No.
250 on it. I'm pretty accurate.
Probably like 500. Not even joking. Like across
Very
all
good.
devices. Yeah.
My wife
yeah.
has put well
Jerica?
over 1,000 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been out a
This
long time.
game-
So
I'm definitely around
Yeah.
the 100-hour mark. Like I played a lot.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Chat is like, they're with us. There's some zeros for sure, but then the Mr. the Human is at 150. High Score Weekly is 100 plus. I know my Steam counter is at like, I think like 197 hours, and I definitely played on consoles as well in the past. So I'm going somewhere in that range. But yeah, that is a undercover, really big pick. I would love to see that pop up.
Yeah.
Very good.
I get lots of
Now,
points if
Cayman.
that actually happens.
Yes, you do, of course. Cayman, blow my mind.
All right, this is
Tell me
wild
something
card.
crazy.
Wild card.
This is wild
yeah?
card, baby.
Wild card. All right. Some might not say this is super wild, but I genuinely think that this is. I think we're gonna get a Persona 6 announcement, a true
Ooh,
Persona 6 announcement. We're not gonna get some bullshit where it's like, oh, this is Persona 5 Royale Reloaded Dream Drop Distance. You know, we're not getting that bullshit. But they're straight up just gonna come out. We have new characters. We got a new color, and the color,
The
I'll
green
put my
Persona.
fucking money on it. It's gonna be. Yeah, you fucking bitch, Patrick. It's
Sorry,
fucking
I didn't
cool.
think
Okay.
yeah, that's my bad. I apologize. I didn't know you were going color.
He said color, then you said color. What do you
There's a delay. I started saying there's
There's
no one that
color.
can prove this.
I didn't know what
okay.
color.
Tree
Well,
filling
the
his house,
truth
man.
is that I think the rumor has been for a while now that the color would be green because each game has a distinct color. But like Persona 3 is blue, 4 is yellow, obviously 5 is red, and so the next logical step was green. But for Patrick's sake, was hoping it was going to be purple.
Yeah, God, wouldn't
Just
that
for
be
you,
nice?
buddy.
Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
Let me ask Cayman and everybody else if you have any additional insight. Some questions about Persona that I have.
Yeah.
All right. Number
Sure.
1.
Yeah.
If Persona 3 was like hip hop, right? Like that was like a rap themed music.
Right.
Persona 4, did that have a theme with its music? Because 5 was kind of like jazz inspired,
5
right?
is jazz, very jazzy.
I don't know because I started playing. No, it's Persona 3 Reloaded. I've never played 4, so I don't know.
4 is so good.
It's kind of
I
like
know.
like J-poppy.
It's a bit
almost.
poppy.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say poppy. Is
Sure.
4.
But they also
Okay,
have a pop
then-
star in the game, so it kind of resonates there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
listed country
Fair.
Persona.
Let's go. Let's go, y'all.
Can we get rap? Can
Well,
we
that's
get
my
rap
question
rock
is what do you
Persona,
think
please?
what do you think the tune will be? What do you think the musical focus will be?
Classical.
New metal. It's gonna be Alien Ant Farm. The entire soundtrack.
I like that quite a bit.
How
What would
about
you say to
electronica?
somebody, you were very big into Metaphor Refantasio. Metaphor out of 10. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Last year. So you're a big Persona fan. You're a big Metaphor fan. What would you say to somebody who says Metaphor Refantasio is just a more boring Persona with less feet?
Who is this question to? Cayman?
Cayman.
That's a
And
tough
jury's
one.
still out on who might have said that.
I think I don't know. I would say if I'm like describing the difference, I think is that one is more grand fantasy than the other. Like Metaphor is way less grounded, I think. Persona feels very grounded, even though it's not. There's more like I think more grounded with the characters, where I think Metaphor, the characters were much more like fantasy based. And you had grounded moments, but they're all rooted in some sort of like Game of Thrones high fantasy aspect. So that would be my big difference, I would say.
I like it. Very good. Cognitive Clips, you ready to blow my mind?
Maybe. So I'm gonna let you, the dealer, choose here, because I already did a done deal prediction for Judas, and I also had a pie in the sky prediction for Judas, or I could pivot and do a different one. So do you want me to just do back to back Judas, or do something different for my first pie in the sky?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm Judased out. Rattle off what your pie in the sky Judas prediction is, just real quick, and then give me another full one to elaborate on.
Okay, sure. My pie in the sky, Judas is also going to be announced. They're going to announce the release date. That was my locked in prediction. They're also going to announce it for Game Pass day one.
Ooh.
I like that addition.
I think Xbox is on a
partnership.
tear right now. It is on a tear right now. They're adding Metaphor with Fantasio. Speaking of that, in like another couple weeks. So I think it's not out of their impossibility.
I don't know that that's pie in the sky to me, honestly. Because of what you just said, like they're on a tear. Like I think that it makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know, like with I don't know if any BioShock games, for example, just speaking from Ken Levine's other studios, I don't think any BioShock games have ever been on Game Pass to my knowledge.
Sure.
And it's like they tend to go for more indie stuff kind of for day one, and if it's not a first party owned Microsoft studio, and then just kind of accumulate stuff from the year before as the current year goes on, like Metaphor. So I don't know. It seemed grander in my mind.
I like that because Microsoft has seemed to hit a pretty good stride of like these single player games that almost give. There are some that you can look at that have like a Bioshocky like vibe. Like there was that Atomic Heart game that was a big Game Pass drop at one point. Clockwork Revolution, which was in not this past one, but the one before that for their summer showcase, where it kind of looked a little Bioshock Infinite like right towards the end of that showcase. Do you guys remember that one?
Yep,
vaguely.
Kind of looks like a little steampunky. And then you have like the single player bread and butter things that are finding their footing on Game Pass that probably wouldn't have as big of an audience if not for that. You look at the 3 million players that are confirmed for Doom, the Dark Ages. It'll probably be the most successful of the 3 Dooms. And then you look at something like South of Midnight that has a place to hang out on Game Pass. I think it would fit in very nicely.
Yeah.
But you want another one on top of that though from me right now?
Oh yeah. We went so long on the Judas thing.
Yeah, that's my fault.
I'm thinking, so this has already been kind of hinted at. So, but I think that they are going to officially announce Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for Switch 2. They'll probably just say 2026. I don't expect it to be like a release date or even like a release quarter, but they've kind of dropped a little, very small hint, and I think that they may just take a big swing for a Nintendo presentation and actually come out and say, yes, we are bringing Rebirth to the Switch 2 because it can, maybe not to the degree that a PS5 Pro obviously could, but that they have the hardware to handle it.
Are you sure we haven't already gotten Rebirth confirmation for Switch 2?
Yes. The phrasing, I believe, was that one of the people in those developer interviews said that they're excited to bring the entire experience, but that was like all he said. It wasn't like, oh, stay tuned for more news soon. It was just kind of like, we're excited to bring the full experience to the Nintendo Switch 2 along with blah, blah, blah. That was the phrasing. So it's kind of been like implied, but I there was no hint of like when they would say anything more about it. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of a long shot.
So you're saying that
Summer Games Fest
specifically? Okay, sure. Okay, sure.
Very good. All right.
I'm doing a real fucking pie in the sky. All right. I'm swinging for the fucking moon. Beyond Good and Evil 2 release date.
Oh, fuck.
That's how you fucking do it.
Beyond Good and Evil, more like Beyond Ridiculous that's taken this long to develop.
Correct. There's absolutely no fucking way we get this during Summer Games.
Let me ask you, if it did happen, where would it be?
I think at Key 3, I think.
Yeah.
Specifically,
I wonder
showcase.
if There was a couple years ago, Ubisoft did a Summer Game Fest presentation. It wasn't last year. It was, I think, the year before.
Yeah.
Where they had like, and it was such an old school. I really liked it. It was very like, this is straight out of like E3 2017 press conference in a year where a lot of people were doing different things. They opened up with a Just Dance number, and they had like a singer come out to do like the main theme for Skull and Bones. It was really like a throwback type of press conference, and I really liked it, but I wish that would happen. I don't think it will. So I think E3 is probably a good guess there.
Is that the one where they like couldn't get the camera to cooperate, and it was like zooming in on random crap, and like you can never see who was even speaking? Somebody a couple years ago had one like that. Like it was really bad.
Oh, that sounds awesome. If you dig that up, post in the Discord. Okay. Very good. All right, I'm gonna blow your minds. Nintendo will have a direct, and it will be surprisingly fucking huge. It'll be continuation. If you go back a couple months from before the Nintendo Switch 2 direct reveal where we did our predictions, I went kind of balls to the wall, and I thought that Nintendo was going to show a lot more and show a lot more of their franchises than we ended up getting. And now, as I sit here with these reined in expectations of what to expect for launch, I realize that there really is not much on the table for the rest of 2025 and 2026. And I think Nintendo has had a lot of people working on a lot of things recently. So I think right now in this ramp up to the Switch 2, we've talked a lot about the launch window and stuff that's here at the end of 2024. But I think there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that happens possibly right before it comes out, like on June 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or that week after, maybe like the 9th or 10th, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right before or right after the Xbox event on the weekend. And I think that there will be a brand new AAA Nintendo title added to the lineup of games coming out this year for the holiday season, something that goes along with Metroid and Pokemon for this calendar year that is not cross-generational, because that's the interesting thing right now, is that you could say Nintendo's launch lineup is figured out, right? However, really all we have right now for first party is Nintendo Welcome Tour, some backwards compatible stuff with the GameCube things. We have, of course, Mario Kart World, and then a month later, Donkey Kong Bonanza. But everything after that for first party Nintendo is pretty much just the Switch 2 editions of games that are slated to come out. Things like Kirby, things like Pokemon Legends ZA, things like Metroid Prime 4. I think we need that big Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive to anchor October, November for Nintendo. And I think that's going to be revealed
don't forget Air Riders. Air Riders is a Switch.
Air Riders is announced for this year, or no, it doesn't have a date on it, but you're right. That is announced as first party. Yep.
What's the game, you think? Take a second big swing. What's the game?
Oh,
I do think that the game is probably Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Especially with like more and more rumblings about like there was a news story that broke just in these last like 48 hours about Mario Kart World's development that confirmed some of the things that we've talked about on this very podcast as far as like what teams have been doing. And this game has been in development for 8 years.
Whoa.
Originally for the Switch 1, but they could not get it to run the way that they wanted, and they couldn't innovate the right way to bring the right ideas to life to make it better than Mario Kart 8. So they took their time with it, and they spread that development out over time. I think there's a lot of similar situations with Nintendo first-party studios right now, where even a team that did like Mario Odyssey that worked on Donkey Kong Bonanza could have been half working on Bonanza and half on another project. I think there's some crazy things that could be on the pipeline.
High Score Weekly, we're dipping into next week's topic, so I'll stop by saying he says Splatoon, and I think that's a good call. I can see it being Splatoon, but we can talk about that next week.
We'll table that.
I agree.
We'll table that.
I agree. All right, I want to do a rapid fire round.
Okay.
Of both. Right? Everyone has still, I feel like a handful more. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Jerica first, and Jerica, give us both a realistic one and give us an outlandish one.
Last trailer for Death Stranding 2. That could be at Summer Game Fest the night of. I think that would be it. Leading up to launch. And then I've been trying to figure out where this goes, but I do think it's either here or the Game Awards, but that's not what we're doing here. I think it could show up here. Who's to say? We had Naughty Dog's next game announced at Game Awards. Who's to say Cory Barlog's new project isn't ready to show off? So I'm going through. I say it's gonna be there.
Is that the sci-fi one specifically? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Jeff Grubb said it like today. Asked my girlfriend, Audrey, didn't we talk about Cory Barlog's sci-fi game like 2 days ago? We did. And what did we say? We said he started working on it when?
She's not talking to anybody right
The
now.
end of God of War 2018.
He actually doesn't have a
Because
girlfriend.
he didn't work on God of War Ragnarok. So
Right.
I just wanted proof.
In the producer role.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that I had written down as I was developing those 21 questions to ask you guys was, will we see Santa Monica's next project? But I felt like it kind of would nullify that question, would be like, if there's no state of play, would we really see it? But I think in this case where there could be a state of play in these next 30 days that we're talking about, and there's the Summer Game Fest thing, there's multiple opportunities to showcase that. And I think, we need to see what Santa Monica's working on.
And typically, like,
Very
state
good.
of plays, and like y'all know too, like it's never like big, huge announcements. It's like updates on games, obviously, and maybe some like smaller indie games that are excited for. But the big things I think are left to either Friday, Summer Game Fest, or Game Awards, or a showcase, which hasn't happened
like
in
Xboxes.
decades.
Yeah.
Sure.
A
Yeah.
PlayStation showcase.
Very good. Kayla, you got a pair for us?
I do. I was trying to figure out what kind of pairing I want to do, and you guys can just guess which one is the long shot and which one is the given. But I think we'll see more GTA 6 for sure. I think we will get, I don't know exactly what we'll get, but I think we see something else. I think we see maybe some more like actual gameplay. Because correct me if I'm wrong, we've seen a mix of gameplay and cutscenes, or is it mainly just cinematics? Or we've seen both? Is that right? Both? Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm predicting that we hear about the long-awaited Star Wars Eclipse project.
I don't think that's I think
Is it-
that's a not a bad idea.
Some stuff's been happening. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I'm very hyped about this. It has been like a long time since we've officially heard anything, but there's been a lot of there's been some leaks. I'm not normally a leaker, but I think that could happen. That's on the table for me.
I considered writing that down, then I did a different Star Wars thing, which maybe I'll reveal, maybe I won't.
Yeah. Another one that like Star Wars has a lot of spinning plates right now with like things in development, because there's Star Wars Eclipse, there's KOTOR remake that are both of those are in questionable development stages. Probably the healthiest one right now is the third Jedi game over at Respawn, even though there's been some weird things happening over there. Nonetheless,
and Zero Company too. Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right. The
I got
RTS
announced
from the former the guys that used to do XCOM and Marvel Midnight Suns.
Yeah,
Very
it
good.
has a date for next year, and we've seen some. No, it doesn't have a date. It just has 2026. 2026. So we could see.
2026. I'm
It
itching
is
to hear
really
what
like
Kayla has to say.
it does have a very like interesting trailer where it's like a minute of CGI and then like 10 seconds of gameplay at the end to give us the idea that it is a strategy game, turn-based strategy game.
Love that.
Good. Cayman. The double.
God damn. All right. Double whammy. Okay. So hear me out, guys. This is going to be really rare for me to say this.
Oh,
Xbox is going to show off the game that shocks everyone. It will be the game that everyone is anticipating for the next calendar year outside of GTA 6. And that game is from a studio no one's ever heard of called Zexanile. The game is called Clockwork Revolution. And if you haven't seen this game, this is gonna blow your fucking mind. It's essentially BioShock. We're getting a new BioShock.
Are you doing
Why
a
is
bit right
anyone?
now?
Yep, doing a bit.
Fuck.
Because I was like,
Hell
Jake
yeah.
just brought this up 5 minutes ago.
Doing it. No,
Clockwork Revolution.
no, mine actually, no, realistically though, no, mine's gonna be there's a new Tomb Raider game for Crystal Dynamics announced.
That's good.
Ooh,
Here's the
fuck.
thing that's like that's a lock-in because there's new LinkedIn job postings for a back end for doing like essentially bug squashing for Crystal Dynamics, which that's not going to be them posting for this for Perfect Dark. The only thing that we can think of is it's going to straight up be Crystal Dynamics' Tomb Raider. And I think we're coming back for a fourth. Wild card prediction, and this one, a little, I don't know, maybe we kind of covered it. So if we did, tell me I'm wrong and to move on. But Sony will announce a first-party game that will come out this fall. A game we have not heard of yet. And I think it's going to be a Miles Morales Lost Legacy style game. Potentially what that rumor was for God of War might be getting an Atreus spinoff. That's going to be a smaller, compact story. But I don't see Sony going into the end of the year with only one first-party title being Ghost of Yotai. Like, no fucking way that they walk out of calendar year 2025 on a fucking wet fart. Not that Ghost of Yotai would be, but like, I just don't believe this, that they're going to do it. It's not going to happen. Don't know.
I'm going to piggyback a little bit. Let me ask the rest of our panel, though. Does anybody else have or did you guys have like a long shot or a realistic like pseudo sequel from Sony
Yes.
written down?
Yeah.
Kayla, what would you have?
I had two things. Well, one's not a sequel and one is. I had Spider-Man 2 DLC potentially
Okay.
that we could see.
Yep.
Because we haven't seen anything. We did get some for the original. And then I also had we see the Insomniac Wolverine somewhere too. And we haven't heard of that one in a while. I know that's not a sequel, but it is Sony. So
Sure. No, I think it counts.
yeah.
Patrick, you seem like you might have one.
If it got to me without someone bringing it up, I was going to say we're getting the Greek God of War that keeps being rumored.
So if now I didn't look at the leaks, but actually I did. And it sure does seem like there's a Venom game on its way that kind of fills the Miles Morales void. Where it's that $50 to $60 sequel as opposed to the $70 or $80 sequel, where it uses the same map and functionality. And are spoilers on or off for Spider-Man 2, 2020 Spider-Man 2?
Why not?
It uses playable Venoms from Spider-Man 2. You don't play as Venom for very long, but the bones are there. You know, there's enough of Venom that like you could see it being a full game where you controlled Venom and they flesh it out a little bit. So I feel like that is
Venom
probably
for everybody.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How many inches?
19
inches.
18.
At
19?
least.
Ooh, it's even bigger than we expected. All right, hold on. Throwing this out there, and not to be funny. Obviously, it's not going to be a Bloodborne or Bloodborne 2. We're not going to get that. It's just never going to happen. But what if we find out that Bluepoint has been working on another like full-fledged remake with like a secondary team? At this point, I think they're big enough they probably could do it, and we get something like a remaster or like a remake of like the first Infamous or something along those lines.
Well, I was wondering if maybe Bluepoint, I know they've said they're working on a new thing, but then there's also rumors that maybe whatever they're working on is canceled. I also wonder if maybe could they be the ones doing the Greek God of War? Like if it's a 3 remake or a 1 remake or whatever.
Yeah,
it's been 5 years, right?
Bluepoint was
5.
Yeah.
Confirmed as working on the live service canceled God of War. So I assume there are assets that can be recycled and used. Like I doubt that is a total loss that is completely written off, although it is definitely written off. I'm sure there's something that can be flipped there. I mean, Bluepoint's making beautiful things all the time. You can do something with those sweet graphics.
I know a lot about total loss these days.
Let me tell
all
you,
about
the
you,
expert
isn't
on
it?
total loss.
Exclamation point
tree
We'll put the
in
link
chat.
back in the chat for you.
When I'm here, it is.
Hey, can we get an exclamation point kids in chat?
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Have I mentioned them tonight?
No.
Holy shit!
No, but
100.
I wanted to make sure that
100.
it started at the right spot because I finally did the counter and I set it to 99 so that when I revealed this, it would automatically hit 100. We're starting you retroactively at 100, and now every time Cog mentions his kids, exclamation point kids will add a mention to the counter, so we will have a real time. And I think I went pretty easy on you, giving you 100 so far. We've been doing this for
You
months.
actually didn't.
I agree.
We love-
Cog, blow my
I'm
mind
gonna-
with some predictions.
First of all, I'm gonna start doing the whole that drinking game from How I Met Your Mother, where Robin finds out that every time she says "but" during an interview, then like the college kids do a shot. I'm going to be doing that for my kids from now on. Go ahead and do it. That's 101.
Juicing those numbers.
So actually, Jake, you had written down Metroid as my first prediction. I knew that would be everyone's expectation, and it was the first thing I typed out in my document, but I went ahead and saved it for my second.
You flipped that around.
There you go.
So I do think Nintendo will have some sort of presentation, whether they call it a direct or whatever they're going to call it. They're going to have it's probably what they usually do a day or two after the main SGF has died down.
Altar call.
Indeed. I think that they will have a release date for Prime 4 during this, June showcase time, since that's, again, like you were saying a moment ago, one of the few things we don't really know a release date for quite yet. And that's, they've announced a couple of things for winter, like the Age of Imprisonment and Pokemon ZA. But so I think it's going to be before winter, and they're actually going to give the final date for once. That'll happen as my done deal. I actually did have Pie in the Sky as Silk Song getting a release date, but Cayman took that for his done deal. So I'll give you a new one, a new trailer for Light No Fire. That was first shown to us during the Game Awards in 2023. It's been some time. I want to see more. That looked like really interesting to me.
I agree.
Even though he went right back to overselling things like that got him in trouble for No Man's Sky. But I really want to see more of that, and I hope that they have. I'm not going to lock it down and say release date. I'm not getting that crazy, but I think we do get a new trailer.
I thought that game
that
also
is,
looked great. I'm excited.
Hello Games, and the guy is Sean. So is it Sean Murray?
Sean Murphy.
Yes.
Sean Murray.
Yeah.
Sean Murray.
Something like that. Sean Murray's pro wakeboarding, or Sean Palmer's pro snowboarding. I'm not really sure.
Select Cooper over here.
Ready to blow my mind.
My kids have never snowboarded, so
102. I just feel like I drastically misunderstood the assignment. I feel like most of these things people are throwing out are not pie in the sky. And this isn't directed just to Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips. This is most of the fucking panel. Give me an SSX tricky reboot as a fucking pie in the sky fucking prediction.
Who
owns the IP? Very likely.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
like
that was talked about recently.
Yeah.
Not recently, but like I heard rumblings of that. Maybe not.
I don't know. I've not heard of that in a long time. Like ever.
There was something getting remade in that same vein. Not snow. Maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing with another action sport, like outrageous action sport. Hold on. Hold on.
Freak Style 2, Jake.
Console.
Oh.
I'll rattle another one if people have talked about SSX tricky recently.
No,
for the sake of time, I'm going to say my lock, which at one point I also maybe had as a wild prediction, but then I was like, I think this could possibly happen. Give me Blade gameplay trailer at the Xbox event. Let's see some gameplay from Arcane finally, and probably like a 2026 release date, I would think. Or release year, we probably wouldn't get a date. But those are my two for the rapid fire round.
Hell yeah. Very good. All right. I have two for you. My realistic one, I wanted to bring this up, but I didn't want to spoil it. But when we were talking about Microsoft saying names of PlayStation, I think they are going to say the name of PlayStation when Phil Spencer announces that he is happy to bring Master Chief Collection to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch 2. I think that's going to happen with full crossplay compatibility. It's full multi-platform, the best of Halo 1 through 4, the whole 9 yards. And I think Reach is now on that.
Wow.
I think 5 is too.
That's my realistic one. Yeah. No.
I think it's got everything but internet, I'm pretty sure. At this point.
Maybe. Quite possible.
I think you're right. I think
another thing. Oh yeah, lots of Halo. Only some of them are good. There will be a new Marvel versus Capcom announced is my long shot. It's been since 2017 that we got Infinite, and it wasn't very well received, and they've somehow fumbled the bag when it came to capitalizing on peak like Avengers hype. That was like post Age of Ultron, but pre Infinity War and Endgame. Which is fucking crazy that game wasn't the most popular thing in the world, a Marvel fighting game, because I think they messed up. I don't think there were enough characters. I don't think it was a very fun visual game to look at. I think there's a lot that they could do better. And it seems like this would be the time to do it because there's going to be one last push here to get the Marvel Cinematic Universe back on track, some hype with Doomsday and whatever the subsequent one is called. Maybe they can coincide. Maybe we can get some likenesses going again and right the ship. I would love to see them do that with a very big cast. Don't lean on DLC and a limited cast and having some weirdo picks and some classic picks. Give me Cap, give me Hulk, give me Wolverine, give me Spider-Man. I want the fucking hits. Play the hits and give me a giant cast. That's
Only men,
what I'm
typical
looking
Jake.
for.
Typical
Mhm.
Jake.
Typical fucking
Those-
Jake.
Oh, don't.
Those are just some.
No skips on our Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
What else we got? I'm blanking.
Captain Marvel.
Yelena.
Captain Marvel.
Yelena, Black
Oh, yeah.
Widow. We've got Storm and Jubilee and Rogue and everything else in the X-Men.
True.
There's a lot, Jake. There's a lot of women.
Oh, you like
All right.
female superheroes? Name all of them. All right. Listen, we've got some rapid fires in. We've got all kinds of predictions, both good and bad, depending on who your predictions you're looking at. Definitely mine are good. What if I told you our 7th member of Drop In, Drop Out had a little something to share as well?
Wow.
And I am your gamble worth taking, the gospel worth telling, GWT Maury. I was not able to be with my friends this evening, which I lament, but I'm here with predictions for you for Summer Games Festival. Let's start off with a couple lobs, a couple layups. We're gonna see Borderlands 4. Christ, I don't need to see any more of it, but we're gonna see Borderlands 4. I guarantee that we're going to see that this year at Summer Games Fest. Another lob, another layup, I believe, is that we're going to see some Death Stranding 2 at Summer Games Fest. It just makes sense. Kojima has a...
There will be video
relationship
games
with Jeff
at
Keighley.
Summer Game Fest.
The game is a month from coming out, nearly to the day. We're about 3 days away from it being a month from coming out. I fully believe that we'll see something from Death Stranding 2. It might just be like a launch trailer. I doubt that it's one of the longer Kojima trailers. I think that we're done with those now, but I could see something for Death Stranding 2 appearing at Summer Games Fest. And lastly, it's a little inspecific, but I might be willing to get specific just for you. I do believe that we're going to be seeing some announcements for Xbox games coming to the PlayStation 5 console. Which games those are, I've not totally decided yet. I think there's a chance that we get an announcement for South of Midnight coming to PS5 later this year. I think there's a chance we get an announcement for Starfield coming to PS5 later this year. Again, not sure which games it will be, but I believe that if there's anywhere to make that kind of an announcement, I believe that it is at Summer Games Fest, right? A neutral ground where Xbox doesn't have everybody coming solely for them, solely for what they have, and solely for what they're offering their customers. It's more of a neutral space. It feels like the place to announce that instead of saving it for your own showcase where your fans are going to inevitably rage and be upset. For a bit of my farther throws, my Hail Marys, if I may, I do believe that we see a Resident Evil game at Summer Games Fest. You'll notice I didn't say Resident Evil 9. I am not confident that we're going to see Resident Evil 9. Perhaps Resident Evil Code Veronica remake? Perhaps Resident Evil 5 remake. I think Code Veronica is more likely than Resident Evil 5. But I do believe that we will see a Resident Evil game. I also believe that we're going to see Light No Fire. For those of you that don't remember, Light No Fire is the game being developed by the folks, I believe, who are working on No Man's Sky. It's Hello Games, right? Fuck, I'm going to check this after I send this video through. But yeah, it's the folks who did No Man's Sky, Light No Fire. Basically the huge open world all set on one planet. I think we'll see that. I really want to see it. I'm super excited. I think that so many valuable lessons were learned for that studio from No Man's Sky, and I want to see what they do with Light No Fire. And lastly, my Hail Maryest of Hail Marys. I think that we're going to see Space 600 at Summer Games Fest. I think that that's ridiculous, and I think it's ill-advised and ill-informed for me to make that prediction, but I just want to see it. For those of you that don't know, Space 600 is Sony Santa Monica's sci-fi game. It's what Cory Barlog has been directing now for however many years. I really want to see this game. We do a little bit of math. We see that God of War Ragnarok came out in 2022. It's 2025. Feels like we should see something here soon. It feels more likely that you would see it at like the Sony showcase rather than Summer Games Fest. But maybe they try to get something out in front of everybody's eyeballs so that everyone can see it. That's what I would hope for. So that's by far my Hail Maryest of Hail Marys. But yeah, to recap, I believe that we will see Borderlands 4 again. I think that's a given. I think we will see something from Death Stranding 2. I believe it's likely. Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5. Maybe South of Midnight, Starfield, right? The next Resident Evil game, we will see more of Light No Fire, and we will see Space 600. Sony Santa Monica's new sci-fi IP. Thank you very much. I am so sorry that I was not able to be with you this evening. I lament in it. But I do love you all very much. And I look forward to listening to the episode later. Be easy and be well. GWT Mori, your gospel worth telling, signing out.
Jake, do we need to pre-record all of our thoughts for this podcast?
It would go a little smoother, but it's still nice to banter with you all.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
incredible. I'm surprised he didn't mention Dust Bloods at all, just to have the moment. to talk
Sure,
about it.
sure.
Yeah, right. I wanted him to yell about Miyazaki.
2026.
Generational run. I want to just rip through some of the submissions that we had in the drop-in drop-out server, because there were quite a bit that I think are really good, and surprisingly quite a few that did not get mentioned here. Heroic Headgear mentions Half-Life 3, Schrodinger's Half-Life 3. Both exist and does not exist until we find out. Elder Scrolls 6 CGI tease at the Xbox event, perhaps. Mr. the Human Plays says, what's up with the Dreamcast era games that were showed a couple years ago at an E3 event? Things like Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Streets of Rage. I think Shinobi was in there as well. There's some other stuff. There's also the Sega Super games that were rumored a little while back, where they were calling like AAA, quadruple A games that they were going to be working on. And I'm not sure which one of those are which, but perhaps we find out soon. Coal Mines thinks there will be some near presence. Resident Evil 9, Persona 4 remake instead of Persona 6. Kingdom Hearts 4 is a layup pick, he says, which was going to be one of mine as well. I could ramble about Kingdom Hearts 4 for a long time. At some point, sooner rather than later, we're going to have a Kingdom Hearts episode of Drop In Dropout, because I've talked about it on Spotlight by holding you guys all, hostage. Nobody can control me over there right now. So I just like ramble about Kingdom Hearts every single week. I haven't gotten to do that enough on Drop In Dropout.
Cool. I have a lot of questions. I beat the first one,
and I want like
1.5 of the second one, or I got that one. I like halfway through that second one, and I have questions.
I think I'm
I
sick.
think everyone has questions.
I have a lot of questions.
Listen,
I've watched a lot of YouTube videos.
there's been chatter among some Drop In Dropout cast members and audience members about Kingdom Hearts 1 being an absolute banger of a summer game club game, where all of us, all 7 of us, and as many people want to participate, whether it's hate playing or love playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and having some conversations about it. I think it could be a good time.
Well,
I'm just throwing it out there. Who knows who's been talking about it?
What about ain't playing? Is that a state of being we can be for this? Because I
not
ain't
possible, I fear.
playing this game, brother.
Jake.
Yeah.
I need you to know I found a Organization 13 name creator. You put in your name and it gives you a name with an X in it. So let's pin that for the Kingdom Hearts episode.
Yeah. And we can all wear cloaks. Oh, it's so fucking good. A cloak, if you're a cosplayer, an Organization 13 cloak is the best investment you can make, because you can easily now cosplay like 13 minimum different people, but there's 2 different organizations. There's the first 13, the second 13. Also Roxas wears it. Also fucking Shion. Cog left. Shion wears it. I'm just saying there's some options there. There's some options. Jula, it might be a soft J. Silk Song mentioned. Kingdom Hearts.
It's my middle
mentioned.
name. That was delayed, but I really wanted to say it.
Perfect. Dan Goodshow reminds us that last year's Xbox showcase went absolutely fucking crazy. He didn't say fucking, I added that. Fable, Gears of War, E-Day, State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, Ninja Gaiden 4, Clockwork Revolution, and Outer Worlds are things that we could see again this year. In terms of non-Xbox stuff, he would love to see some Resident Evil 9, Stellar Blade 2, which was recently kind of leaked, Silent Hill F, very good stuff. The last thing that I see here from Basic Fun is maybe some more GTA, High Score Weekly. I'll let Jordan say this one. I'll give you a hint. It's DLC for a game that might be a little important to you.
Expedition 33?
That's the one! Exclamation point! Expedition 33 in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't make that, but I should have. I will. I will.
I can see that happening.
We should have that. And we'll start that one at 100 as well. Very good. Listen, we're winding down, but I just want to do what we always do for these topics. We make these big lists, and then we talk about some of them, and I don't want any of them to go to waste. So now's our chance. I'm just going to throw it out. We can talk over each other. No, we don't try not to talk over each other. But does anybody have one that they're passionate about, whether it's a long shot or a realistic one that they'd like to bring to the table? Patrick?
The two that I didn't get to, because some of them were stolen, but the two that I didn't get to that I wanted to get to was seeing whatever Double Fine is working on, and then also I couldn't decide if that was lock or long shot. And then one that I do think is a long shot because it's basically been announced to be kind of dead is the KOTOR remake being reborn in some capacity.
Yep. I think very much the last year at this time, the Xbox Showcase was coming up, and there were rumors floating around in the industry about Kiln being a shadow drop, which is the game that was showcased as part of their little game jam that they do internally that kind of got rolled into a larger project, but I'm not sure what's happening with that one anymore. Cog, you got something to share?
It's not that I'm dying to say it. I just think it's funny. I think a lock is that Fair Games is not mentioned at all.
I like that.
Not even like a, it's still coming. Here's a trailer. Just nothing. They're just not even going to acknowledge it anymore. And they're going to just take it back and shoot it before the year's over.
Correct.
For sure. Kayla, what do you have?
This might be too soon to the last inkling of something that we got, aka I believe the reveal. But what if we see Witcher 4? Potentially something else.
Ooh,
we have nothing except the quick tease, right? That we got.
That's a good long shot to me.
That wasn't a very quick tease. It was like 5 minutes long, but yeah.
Right. It's still going.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. I'm remembering more now. Jerica has a comment to add on.
Yes. Because they announced a Witcher, the first game, like a remake, right? That's happening.
No, that's not confirmed, I don't think. But I think it's been rumored for a long time, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like they did a roadmap thing, and then I feel like they're not directly working on it. Maybe, I don't know. Once again, my brain, y'all understand, Everwild's the only thing I can remember. Which
Everwild was a great pull, though.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red is currently working on a remake with a smaller team.
I can see that coming. I remember that. You made me think of that, Kayla. Maybe both, a little both. We get the Witcher remake because I would love, because I've never played the first one. 3 is the first and only Witcher I've ever played. So I'd love to see how
and that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah. I like to see how the journey started for that old Witcher guy.
So good.
For sure. Jerica, do you have any other ones?
I had on here, I could see, I feel like it's been long enough now, we could see Final Fantasy VII, the third game. I mean, that's on a lot of people's lists, I know, but I feel like that could show up here. I feel like it maybe showed up at the last Summer Games Fest or the one before that. Or was that Square Enix's own showcase where they announced the title of Rebirth?
There was a Final Fantasy VII showcase that was for its 30th anniversary where they announced that 7 Remake is a trilogy and the second game is called Rebirth, and they had the first trailer for it. And that game was re-revealed pretty famously with the live performance of Promises to Keep, the song that's performed in the game at, I believe it was the Game Awards specifically in 2023, which kind of kicked off hey, this is a release date, we are on the path, the game is imminent, and that's when all the previews started going up and things like that.
Okay, so I can see that. As long as it's at a Keeley thing, then we could see that here. So I'm ready to know. What do y'all think the third game's gonna be called? We had remake, Rebirth,
Rejuvenation.
I honestly, Reunion was already taken for Crisis Core, but I think it's too good to fucking pass up. I think they might just run it back.
No, they wouldn't run it back.
I don't think so.
I don't think, no.
Repatriate, brother!
Ooh, now that's something.
Very topical. Top of mind. Regurgitation's good, Rabbit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That happens a lot in that game.
Recoded from High School Weekly. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Recoded is pretty good. I have kind of just as one of mine to piggyback off of that is so Square Enix, when they had that thing at the Game Awards, Keely's introduction to that was like a very heartfelt thank you to Tetsuya Nomura in particular, of like, thank you so much for making this happen and being a part of the show and blah, blah, blah. And because of that, I have long been under the impression that we would probably get a reveal of the third part or Kingdom Hearts 4 at a Keely show, because they're fostering that relationship a little bit further. So I think that's a really good one. But there's also like the Square Enix evergreen, where the fuck are these games, that we could talk about as well, whether they're long shots or realistic, like Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy Tactics remakes or remasters have been the longest holdouts from the NVIDIA leak years back. There's been rumblings this year that there was more Chrono Trigger to see, possibly like a HD 2D remake from the team behind Live Alive might be what they're working on next after the fact. And then, of course, we spoke about Kingdom Hearts 4, but there's Final Fantasy 7 Remake 3 and Final Fantasy 17 could also be shown. Never know. You never know.
Of FF.
Cayman, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
I mean, I would always love to talk about Bulletstorm too. I don't feel like this is the outlet to do that. So I'll leave you guys with one little nugget, and that is by the end of this series of showcases, we will hear the term strategic collaboration at least once, and it's going to be between two major studios. I'm thinking Ubisoft is going to team up with someone like Xbox. Like Xbox will be working alongside Ubisoft to do something with, like, I don't know, man. Let's see, like Prince of Persia or some shit like that. But we're going to end up in a situation where we're going to see two studios, almost like a Crystal Dynamics Rare combo, where we're going to end up with at least one announcement where there's two studios people know of that are working together on one new title. See what they end up doing. I don't know.
I love when Cayman's predictions just are about a one word. That's one of my favorite Cayman predictions.
We're going to hear the word "come" on stage.
We are.
Very
Where's the
good.
word count? Who's keeping up with that? Who's keeping up with that?
I'm actually flying in. I'm flying in. They're putting me on a stretcher, and they're shipping me across the country for this. And it's just, they're going to wheel my lifeless gray corpse up on stage.
Gray?
And I just grab the mic, I pull it down real close, and I just go, come. And then they just wheel my ass back off.
They're going to put him in a pine box with an American flag over it.
And there's a 19-minute standing ovation like it's can.
Very good.
Rest in peace. That could be the subtitle.
Very good.
Final Fantasy VII, Rest in Peace.
Whoa.
I think my vote is probably Reconnect or Reconnected or Reconnection is where I'm at based on my Final Fantasy knowledge. Peach, you said in the chat Reconciliation, which I think is really good as well.
Thank you.
Good pick.
That's the
Very
Catholicism
good pick.
coming through.
I'm giving one last one. Need for Speed. I think we're due. They've been on a pretty good 2 or 3 year rotation, and it's been 3 years since Unbound from Criterion in 2022, which was pretty well regarded. They've kind of been on like arguably a hot run. Like 2015 was Need for Speed, 2017 was Payback. Neither of those were a big deal. Heat in 2019 people liked. 3 years later, we got 2022's Unbound, which people kind of liked, and I feel like it's high time that we get at least an announcement of something being worked on. Give us, EA, you're in financial trouble.
It's time for Need for Speed.
EA's in financial trouble. They should have a fucking like break glass in case of like just announce NBA Street Volume 4, SSX 5, and fucking Need for Speed Underground 3.
Let's
Boom.
go.
How about
That would
You're
get
back to
me
making money,
That's
profits. I am for hire.
So you know the recession is here when we get a new Need for Speed.
Final Fantasy VII
FF7
Recession.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yes.
good. All right. I love it. I can no longer bring there it is.
What's happening?
We're wrapping things up here. I appreciate everyone's time and patience. I know that things get a little wild on the episodes where we have more than 4 people on the cast, and I think that sometimes that 3 or 4 people is the sweet spot. But for these big events, I want to get everybody's input, and I regret absolutely nothing. So excellent work to everybody on our cast. Jerica, Kayla, Cayman, Jordan, Patrick. Excellent work and great speaking with you today. Excellent work retrieving a whiteboard. Not one person forgot. I thought for sure we would have somebody without one writing on paper today, but instead everybody had one. That's true. I bet he doesn't have one. We should find out. We'll post it in the Discord. It says "fuck me" on P-Schwags as well. Listen, I'm not going to go around the horn for everybody. On the screen, there is a visual of everything coming up. Don't forget our normal schedule next week. Monday is JK Games /Clickerbait. Tuesday is Spotlight Games. Thursday is your Drop In Drop Out podcast. And then starting on June 1st with the Halo Jamboree, things get crazy. We basically have something for you 12 days in a row. So hop on, take a peek at that schedule, get excited, especially for that little chunk of time. The 5th for the Switch 2 release, the 6th for Summer Game Fest proper, the 7th for, of course, the Xbox Showcase, and then our Drop In Drop Out show on the 12th, which will be recapping everybody's answers and see who is the smartest out of all of us based on the questions asked at the top of this show. The best place to find us is, of course, dropindropoutpod.com. You can click all kinds of links. You can find us somewhere that you're not already finding us. Even if you don't care to find us somewhere else, just go press a couple buttons. It helps us out more than you would know. Subscribe to one of the other podcasts. Click on someone's Instagram profile and click follow on that thing too. It's so good and so easy. A little click for you means the world to us here at Drop In Drop Out. You guys all want to say bye at the same time? Oh, my voice cracked a little bit.
Bye.
Say bye at the same time and I'll play the outro.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold the note. Bye.